All right, hey there students. In today's video, we're going to be going through the statement of changes in equity. So how this works, we're going to go through the adjusted trial balance, then the income statement, and that's going to flow into the statement of changes in equity. We'll go through it in Excel, and I'll show you exactly how to create that statement of changes in equity. Let's get into it. Okay, so first off, I already wrote out the adjusted trial balance and the income statement because we're not going to do that in this video. I have other videos that cover that. We're just going to be using this data to move it in to prepare a statement of changes in equity. So as you can see with an adjusted trial balance, you have all of your accounts, and that's going to be your assets, liabilities, and equity. You have your debit side, your credit side, and as you know, at the very bottom, it should definitely equal each other. Now, I do have another video on how to make a trial balance. That's in my video list. You can go and check it out. But again, we're not going to be really creating it here. I'm just going to use the data to create this statement down here. So we're going to be looking for a few things. Common stock is very important for the statement of changes in equity. Retained earnings is important, and dividends. Now, there's another really key point that we need, which is called net income. So let me go ahead and just fast forward here to how it looks so you can see exactly what the statement will look like. We're going to fill in the blanks. The beginning balance, you're going to add in your net income, deduct dividends, and that's your balance. And we're going to do it for both columns, the common share stock and the retained earnings. Now, this is an important note here. The company did not issue or repurchase common shares during the 2023 year. That is important, and that'll come into play here in a sec. So the first thing we should do, let's go ahead and move over our common stock. The value is $23,400. So let's go ahead and just move that over here. So we have the balance at the beginning was $23,400. Now, with common shares, you're actually not going to worry about net income because if you know this already, on the statement of retained earnings, that's where net income will come into play. So we don't have to worry about here. Same with dividends. Dividends don't affect common shares. Now, the only thing that would affect this column is if we issue or repurchase common shares during this year. And since they didn't, there's really nothing else to add. The balance at the beginning is actually the exact same. So let's go ahead and move it down. $23,400. Now the retained earnings will be a little bit different here. So let's go over back to adjusted trial balance. We have the beginning balance of retained earnings. So let's go ahead and move that over. It's going to be $14,300. So move that in. $14,300. Now, net income will be our next thing. So we add that again to retained earnings because the net income is what we earn after taxes, and we add that to our beginning balance of retained earnings. That formula is very, very important. And before we do that, let's actually go and get the total from left to right on our balances. So we'll just do a little formula equals this number here plus this number. Make sure you always close out the parentheses. $37,700 is our total for that beginning balance. Now, let's go ahead and find net income. Now, luckily, like I said, I did the income statement for you. I already have another video on how to create an income statement. I'll be making lots more videos around income statement, practice problems, more examples, etc. But there's already a video out there on how to create an income statement. And I'll go ahead and put that card right up here so you can see it along with the trial balance one as well. So for our revenue, we're just moved some numbers over. And again, I already calculated this for you. So if you scroll all the way down, we went ahead and deducted our operating expenses, got our total operating. Now we have our operating income, had some interest, income before taxes, income tax, and now net income. Now, like I said earlier, these numbers were just moved over into the income statement. I already calculated it for you. So don't worry too much about how to calculate it. We're just actually going to be using this net income number to move it over to our statement of changes in equity. So $23,400 was our net income, so we move that in. Just so happens to be the exact same number for the common stock, which is interesting. So lastly here, we deduct our dividends from the retained earnings column. And so to find that, we just go back to our adjusted trial balance, and as you can see, dividends right there, 3,280. And there we go. Now let's go ahead and add up our retained earnings column from top to bottom. So equals sum. We just drag it and it'll add them all up. Close out the parentheses. And there we go. 40,980. And so what we do here, go ahead and add up your balance at the end and also your retained earnings balance. And we get our ending balance here equals sum these two numbers, and there we go. And let's see if it makes sense on this side as well, because we're just going to move these numbers over. We're going to move that number, and we're also going to move this number, but we're going to multiply it times -1 to make it a deduction, right? Because you deduct dividends out, as you can see over here, deduct dividends. So 37,700, 23,400 minus 3,280, and let's see if we get the same number. We're looking for 64,380. So we'll do a sum, and we'll just go ahead and sum these up. And so actually we're off there a little bit. Let's take a look and see why. So we had 37,700, 23,400 minus the 3,280. I know what I did. So I made the mistake here. This is also really good to show in the video because sometimes it does happen. We're not going to sum all these up. We're actually going to sum up just these two. There we go. And then we subtract out our dividends. Good catch. There we go. And we get 34,420. Now we add these up. This number equals 57,820, which is also equal to these three numbers here summed up. And just to make things better and more congruent, we'll also do that. And going back here. So make this number a negative, and that's going to change that number, but that's okay. What we're going to do is back to this, and this will be, we can just sum everything up now, and that should equal 57,820, and then sum this back up. There we go, 57,820. So you can see even I make mistakes, but what's good is we go through and see, okay, did it line up? I compared it, right? And it didn't work. So I went back in, I found my error, and then I fixed it. So normally I might take this out of the video, but it's actually good to see this in real time because this is how you're actually going to approach accounting problems. No one's perfect. The rule really is like if you noticed an error, it's your job to go back in, kind of work backwards and figure out where that error was to make sure your numbers line up at the end. Very important, especially for exams as well. So I'll go ahead and make this the same look so you know it's side by side and those numbers equal each other. And so that's how you create a really basic statement of changes in equity. If you really like this video, please comment, subscribe, and like the video. It really helps support the channel, and you can kind of tell me more about what you're looking for in these styles of videos, because I can make more Excel videos, more practice problem videos, whiteboard videos, plenty. So my goal really is to start making about 5 videos a week to help you learn accounting the easy way. So again, thanks for watching, and hopefully you really enjoyed this video, got a lot out of it, and I'll see you in the next one.